Hello there. It's Fridays with Father, and it's April 15th. Hope you're doing well. Thanks to everybody who celebrated last night with us the Mass of the Lord's Supper. The first step, really, in these very solemn days as we prayed about service and we, recognize Christ in our life as someone who shows us how to be true servants. Today we will gather in our church at 7 p.m. and celebrate the Liturgy of the Lord's Passion, and we will focus on Jesus really as the sacrifice, the one who in some ways by the giving up of himself makes everything okay, makes everything new. Jesus is the person, I suppose, that really shows us that that suffering in and of itself, the pain that we have in our life, the bad experiences we have in our life, in and of themselves have no meaning. They only have meaning, really, through Jesus and his action on the cross. He transformed everything, transformed our pain into joy, because through the cross we realize that that is not the end of the story. He made holy every pain that we feel. He made holy every feeling of abandonment or loneliness we ever had in our lives. He makes things right through the cross, because we know that through the cross it led to his resurrection. So it's a special day, and as somebody just said to me this morning that, about Good Friday, that wherever you go, there's always a sense of like stillness in the air, or it's quiet, and it is. And I like to think that that's for the right reasons, that it's for Jesus, really, and for everything that he has done for us, and continues to do for us. And so our faith is in him, On a personal note, as many of you will know, on Palm Sunday I had to say goodbye to my little friend Jonah, and he was here last week. I didn't bring him to say hello to you. He was on the floor. He was okay apart from a cough, but then he kind of got sick, and then on Palm Sunday I had to go say goodbye. So I don't want to be the priest who who's always talking about his own losses and his own pains. That becomes rather tiresome, I know. But I just take a moment to say that, I know he was only a dog, but he was one of the nicest people I ever knew. So he's caught up in my prayer this Holy Week, and spare a prayer for him. I know there's a special place for little doggies like him in the heavens, so please join with me. On another note, Good Friday, as I said, I think before, the thing that in my childhood and in my country that we always ate on a Good Friday was a Hot Cross Bun, and I made some. I made some here yesterday, and just to show you anyway. I will also eat them later on, but these are Hot Cross Buns. I kind of over-baked them a little bit, because I'm a bit slapdash in many things, but I put them in the oven, and then I went off to practice the Exultet for Holy Saturday, and then time went by really fast, and then before I knew it, when I got back, they were browner than I wanted, but I've eaten a couple of them already, and they do taste rather delicious. They're kind of full of peel and fruit and spices, mixed spice and some cinnamon, and they're best eaten with lots of butter. There you are. So there'll be two of those consumed today by me for my snacks. As it's a day of fasting and abstinence, I'll have a couple of Hot Cross Buns as two of my snacks, or what they call traditionally as collations. Anyway, that's a Hot Cross Bun, and what I want to say about that is to do with my dad, really. We always had Hot Cross Buns growing up in my house on a Good Friday. It was a special Good Friday treat, and my grandfather believed fiercely in the Hot Cross Bun. And when I was a kid, a small kid, my dad must have said to his dad, one Lent or something, that the price of, I don't know, flour had gone up, or something had gone up, and so hot cross buns were going to go up by so many pennies or whatever. And my dad was saying to his dad, that, well, with the cost of hot cross buns this year, we're thinking that we won't have them this year, and if he did say that, then I think my granddad just like launched an attack. And my dad sort of said, how could you possibly do that? Your children need to grow up knowing what hot cross buns are and what they mean. This is all very much attached to my granddad's faith, because he's a very, very faithful Catholic. And he said, you make sure, you make sure your children have hot cross buns on Good Friday. It doesn't matter what they cost. And, my dad did as he was told, and we always had hot cross buns. And this is the first hot cross bun I've had in a number of years, because I can't really buy them here. And so I made them for the very first time, and I do it really in honor of my granddad, John Joseph Thomas, and I also partly did it yesterday to sort of distract myself from other things, from Jonah, I guess, really. So anyway, I've made hot cross buns. It was a labor of love, I tell you, because I couldn't get the dough to rise, and so I had to try a couple of times. Eventually it worked, and they taste really good. So, point being, my granddad, his faith was very much immersed, really, in his food, hot cross buns. And sometimes our faith is immersed in very real, tangible, human things, and it's for us to be able to see, really those signs of faith in those very small things. So I commend to you today, not so much the eating of hot cross buns, but really to feel that on this special day, on this special morning, that you sort of consecrate the moment in a special way, however that is. Whether it's, having a cup of coffee in silence, with some, church music, or whether it's eating something special which you only eat on a Good Friday. But do it in the name of the Lord Jesus, knowing that, whatever's wrong in your life, whatever's wrong in the world, Jesus makes it holy through his sacrifice. And he has the answer to everything. And he transforms all of our ills into joys, That doesn't mean to say, we won't feel the pain, because we do, And, and I don't want to over-spiritualize people's pain. Pain is pain. Things hurt. And Jesus is there in the middle of it all. But the great consolation, and maybe our only consolation, is knowing that he makes it all right. He makes it right through his blood to be shed on the cross. And that's what we'll be celebrating here today. Sacrifice. It's a holy thing, a good thing. It's the right thing. It's the only way, really, for us to find a solution to the problems of the world, and a solution to the problems that we hold in our hearts. Okay, so make today holy. Make it the sacrifice that it is, so that we learn in our own ways to become that sacrifice. Having said that, I don't want to take any more of your time. I thank you for your kindness. You've all been very kind to me, especially just recently. And I look forward to seeing you all in church this evening at 7 p.m. for the Liturgy of the Passion. You take care, be joyful, keep the faith.